Of course, the wage gap exists. But if you're asking for more, just in the name of injustice, I'm sorry you're not a feminist. Before this statement becomes a controversy, well, I want to put this forward that everyone should be paid, as per what they deserve, regardless of their gender. Okay, let me give you an example. One lady gets a job on Netflix, a comedian, does well, fine. But there are other people, there are other men who are equally or more talented, who have actually not been able to crack Netflix or Amazon. What do you have to say about that? Well, this is where I would like to say that people should get what they deserve. And I'm not defending men, I'm not a serial defender of men, but there are situations where feminism has been misused. I'm not a serial defender of men, but I am against women who misuse feminism. While these cases are rising everywhere, this is a problem which we must address. We guys are going to discuss about pseudo-feminism today. And we have with us here today the very beautiful Lucy. She's from UK, she's a blogger, she's an actress. You guys are watching Minding My Business, and I'm your host, Avi.
Well, thank you very much, Ali, for having me here. I'm an actress. I class myself as a feminist. I represent women all around. And yeah, as you said rightly in your opening speech, there is a big injustice with women and feminism and all that revolves around that. And I'd like to start off by saying that there are different types of feminism, as we know, and I think that people forget that there's all these different realms of feminism. It's not just one concrete block. So, and I know we're going to discuss pseudo-feminism, but I just wanted to talk about the other feminisms that are around. So there's new wave feminism, there's liberal feminism, there's radical feminism, which I think we're going to kind of delve into today. There's also cultural feminism and ecofeminism. So I just wanted to kind of just say a little bit about that. But yeah, so, you know, as we keep evolving as women, there's substantial things that come apparent when we're dealing with feminism and things that we need to tackle because of the injustice system, because of the wage gap, because of all of these different things that, you know, females have to come and conquer each day of their lives. It's not just a thing that just passes by. It's ingrained in us to feel lesser as a person just because we are a female. And you know, there's a lot of feminists out there who are taking it the wrong way, who are going the wrong way with that, and that's where we get into pseudo-feminism. And so I know today we're going to touch on the Me Too movement, which was a movement that was, I think it was a few years ago now, that started on Twitter. It was a hashtag Me Too, and basically survivors came out, felt brave enough to come out and talk about their experiences. And what happened then was a flurry of Me Too survivors that were also sharing their stories, and they were also sharing their stories. And it was a completely brave thing to do. They were talking about some serious sexual assault that might have happened or might not have happened or whatever, but it was a trend that happened and flowed. So we see a lot of misguided women on social media every day, and you know, I'm not of the aspect of thinking women should be wearing whatever they want, men should be wearing whatever they want, but it's to make a conscious effort to your surroundings and where you are, because a lot of women can be misguided and lured into a false sense of security, and that happens within feminism. And you know, I've had conversations with young women about their status and what they think about feminism, and it's really interesting to see a lot of misguidance. And that can come from social media, that can come from how you're brought up, that can come from a lot of different things. But the thing it comes down to is empowerment, and what does empowerment really mean to you? What does it mean to me as a woman? To me, it means standing up for what I believe in. It means wearing what I like and not being told that I shouldn't wear things. But also, you have to think of the backlash and the comeuppance of posting things on social media, what that is going to then ricochet and what people are going to say about you. If you put yourself on a platform, you're putting yourself out there to the whole world to comment. And I think that we've got a long way to go, but yeah, I'm really interested to get started on this.
I absolutely agree. And before I go ahead, I would like to appreciate you and women like you, because This is a very important topic to be addressed, and even for the audience, let me make it clear again that we are not discussing about the need of feminism. We are only discussing, this is an observation where we are discussing how feminism is misused. So before you just go and start commenting after seeing the thumbnail, please feel free to watch the full video. Let's continue. And there is a saying by G.K. Chesterton, and he said it rightly. I'll just read it out. They support what is feminist against what is feminine. And there is a very big example. I mean, there are ample number of marriages and relationships where it has not survived because of the notion that women are feminist and they're feminist in their heads, and this makes the relationships go one-sided because they act like men whom they don't want to endorse. And feminism is actually, it's not about what men are doing wrong. Feminism is working harder and creating opportunities for everyone, for women.
Yeah.
And opportunities which women didn't have before. So it's not about a man and a woman and they're competing for a job, and you won't call it feminism if I just give the woman a chance because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Feminism is giving them the opportunity to come together and compete.
Mm-hmm.
After that, yeah, whoever could be the winner. Like an old man, an old woman, old lady, anybody could be the winner. So what I wanted to discuss is, it is easier for men to force through things and get into it, but feminism, where we are discussing, women do not subscribe to such agenda. So basically what I wanted to say is, feminism is not about just giving the females a chance. It's about putting them in a position where they are able to compete, giving a chance for a competition. You're not just taking men out of the equation. So that is what we are going to discuss. And
I completely agree with you, and I want to rehash that feminism is not about man shaming, man hating. It's not about that. It's about, we just want equal rights, really.
Yes.
And we've been fighting for hundreds of years, and we're still at a blockage of where we haven't got them, and we just want to be strong enough to eradicate those ideologies and those ideas, and we shouldn't have to ask to earn more. It should just be a thing that happens. And I think that's what it is, what it comes down to. It's not a case of, we hate men, I know there is a type of feminism that could be like a radicalized feminism that is like that, but the one we're talking about is just to literally have equal rights. And that's all it is, really. There are several women, well, not several, there are thousands of women who have made it for themselves despite all of the odds, despite all of their, lack of money, or despite complete denial of them being even a person, even being seen as a person, and they've made it through their passion and their kind of strong will. And that's something to really inspire to as a woman. And I read lots of books, and I read about these amazing women who've come so far, and fought for us to be here today, fought for me to be able to have a conversation with you in this room as a human being rather than a woman. And and I personally work really hard and earn my place. I don't do it in terms of, I have to work harder because I'm a woman. I'm luckily in the place where I don't have to be. And and there are a lot of women who have got a long way to go. And it's the things with influencers and social media at the moment that can sometimes make it a lot harder. Make it a lot harder because this backlash of the Me Too movement per se, and there are false allegations that have been put out into the world, and that just maybe takes some people a step back because the trust isn't there anymore. So proving yourself throughout the whole pain that you've been through is something that really kind of strikes a chord with me, and it's such a empowering thing to see when you're seeing all these women come through all this stuff, and and having men on our side is also something that is completely guiding us and helping us as well, and you're paving the way. We're all paving the way together. We've got further to go as women. That's just because of the way the world is built, unfortunately, but we're getting there, and with your help we can get there too. And I'm not saying that lots of people are deliberately going against the grain and deliberately not following the Me Too movement and being anti-feminist, as it were. I think that it's a tough one to call because it's based on your culture, it's based on where you've been brought up. Like, not everyone has the same values. That's just something we know as human beings. But feminism should be the heart, I think, of where we want to perceive ourselves and where we go forward. And that's just not for women, that's for men as well, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's as bad as world politics, and it's as up there as politics is. It's you know, it's right on the cusp, and we've been talking about it more and more and more as, you know, the world ticks on. It's becoming more prevalent. It's really had a shift in the last 5 years about the anti wage gap and all these other things, and there's been a lot more talking about it, and I think that's the main thing. It's like everything. It's like mental health, all these things that we need to talk about more. We are talking about more. We're learning to have these kind of conversations, and I think that's where it starts, is the conversations, not the debates, not the, you know, angry protests. It's all about having a kind of finer understanding between each other, and I don't have the answers to every single feminist or woman or man at all. Like, they have their own path, but I can speak from my experience that, you know, I'm aware of myself, I'm aware of the content I would put out online. Some people maybe not aware of that. Some people haven't been taught that there's going to be repercussions that come with posting pictures of you with less clothing. What does that mean? What does that put out? What does that say? It's like, it's just a learning. Every day is a learning with feminism, I think, and you're never gonna know all the answers, and the answers are
like the rules of feminism, like
there's it's endless, and all we can do is talk to others, talk to like-minded people, but also talk to the people that you might not necessarily talk to in these kind of situations. Get down and deep and dirty with it, because it's something that needs to be tackled, and it needs to be. Sorry, I've spoken on loads there, but yeah, you get my drift.
Yes. That was very insightful, Lucy, and thank you for getting very deep into this matter, because these are topics which, you know, I know it's a risky topic, and I know if we touching the hornet's nest, and, you know, I don't want to open Pandora's box and something comes out and people come running on me, but this is a topic which needs to be discussed, because with feminism you have the pseudo-feminism as well. You have the negative side of it, and we are not trying to criticize anything in this movement, but we are just trying to point out things which should improve. Like, you know, like everybody takes advantages of things.
Yeah.
They take advantage of you, they take advantage of other things in life, they take advantage of this movement, and there are places and there are many industries where Me Too has actually become a joke, which it shouldn't have, but it has become a joke, and it is because of such things, such elements, which has made it a problem. That is why convicts who have been convicted are now again free. And I am not allowed to take names, I will not take names, but you can Google it up. So yeah, so basically that is why we are just discussing like two normal people. Different sides. And I hope if you guys have more suggestions, please put it down in the comment section. And thank you, Lucy, for coming to the show, and I want 100 likes for Lucy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I will see you again next week. Minding my business.